Hi there. My name is Roger Pascal. I'm the CEO of Real Impact Training Systems. Excuse me. For those of you who are new to this call, at Real Impact, we improve the quality of people's lives through real estate investing. Through several locations in Texas and Oklahoma, Real Impact provides local real estate investors with networking and educational meetings. Our locations are franchises owned and operated by seasoned investors who we call Impact Master Trainers, or in short, IMTs. In addition to monthly meetings and workshops, our IMTs offer a variety of one-on-one mentoring programs that can help you no matter where you're at in your personal real estate journey. If you're interested in learning more about our training options, please reach out to one of our Impact Master Trainers. You can find the IMT locations and contact information online on our website at realimpacttraining.com. Just click on the location button in the middle of the screen. In a few minutes, several of our IMTs will be joining us so we can meet them tonight. One of our primary objectives on each Sunday night is to provide you with an opportunity to ask questions about real estate investing. No need to wait for the week to start. You can get your questions answered tonight. Just type your questions in the chat box, and we'll see if we can get you answers to one of our IMTs, one of your questions to the IMTs, and we'll get you the answer. So I'm excited you're here tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about the 5 M's of real estate investing. So be sure to, as we have down here, be sure to hit the like button and share with your friends. Make sure you join our YouTube or subscribe to our YouTube, and the chat box will come up when you subscribe to that, and we'll be sure to get your answers to your questions. But tonight we're going to be talking about the 5 M's of real estate investing. So I'm very excited about that. And with that, we're going to first bring on Eric Short. I had to read my notes here. So Eric Short, we're excited to have you on here. Eric Short is our Impact Master Trainer in Grand Prairie, Texas.
Grand Prairie.
And that's what kind of makes our business different, our model different than most other real estate investing platforms, is we are your local investor experts. We know the market. We know the people. We know the movers and shakers. We know the money people. We know the repair people. We're here to help you build your business locally, not from a cubicle 1,000 miles away, somebody reading a script, because that's not what we do. But Eric, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, I have the joke of the week, Roger. I'm glad you asked. So we like to keep things light. And moving in that vein, a friend of mine went to a psychiatrist and he said, "Doctor, I'm really confused. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I feel like a teepee. And on Tuesday and Thursday, I feel like a wigwam. And it's really confusing me." The doctor said, "Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a teepee. Tuesday, Thursday, you're a wigwam. I think I know. You are 2 tenths." 2 tenths.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Now, along those lines, if you're in a campground and you enjoy jogging, you can't say, "Oh."
How does that work? There we go. All right.
Where's my mute button? Where's my mute button?
That's right. So, okay. That starts out the week great. So thank you so much, Eric. We'll be dealing with our nice little notice from Facebook later on that, but that's okay. So welcome everybody on here tonight. We're excited to have you once again. We've got a great program tonight. We have a ton of questions in our chat already. So if you have any questions at all, go to the chat button. Once again, if you don't see the chat area in the YouTube area, hit subscribe and you'll get there. So we appreciate y'all being here tonight. So we have next coming up, Tim Lockhart. Tim is our master trainer in Wichita Falls, Texas. Did an incredible meeting yesterday there in Wichita Falls. So if we can bring Tim up here and his lovely wife, Gabi. So Gabi, welcome on here tonight. And Tim, you've got the tip of the week. So I'm excited to hear this. I kind of heard a little bit of it yesterday, and I've not run into this. So this is really interesting area you have here. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so Gabi and I went to the Realty 2.0 conference in Las Vegas last week, and the topic of conversation kept coming up is about selling homes with blockchain. So blockchain is the underlying technology of the crypto world. And so it's not dependent on any particular coin. But my tip of the week is the only thing that is constant is change. Something I heard a lot in the Air Force. The only thing that's constant is change. So have you ever thought of having your home as an NFT, a non-fungible token? And we've heard about art being sold as an NFT and different things like that. But an NFT is essentially the digital DNA, and that can be applied to a property. And so once the title has been arranged into these blocks have been verified into a chain, and then it doesn't ever have to be re-verified again, which could impact our title companies and the escrow process. It's a totally different way of thinking, and it's being used right now in other parts of the world. And actually, there was the first real estate property sold on blockchain in the United States was in Florida back in 2017. Something that is really interesting about this is that anything that's sold through the blockchain technology opens up the ability to invest in it from anywhere in the world. So we can have international investing in our real estate by just regular people, because once a coin is established for a house, and then that can be segmented. And so there's lots of competition right now. A lot of investors from California and in the East Coast are investing in Texas, the South, and the Midwest because the homes are more affordable. But just think what's going to happen to competition when people are going to be able to buy from all over the world. And so something to think about. The only thing that's constant is change. So be flexible.
Very good. I never really, I've heard a little bit about blockchains and heard a little bit about this subject last few months. I've never taken the time to look into it. I'm definitely gonna look into it now. It's really interesting. I'm going to be talking to lots of title companies about this and trying to figure that out. So thank you for bringing that on board tonight. And we're going to be sure to find all this in the future. We're going to find a lot of interesting stuff out there. So CJ, can you throw everybody on the screen? Thank you, Tim, for presenting that to us tonight. And that's really got me wondering how we're going to work with that and how that's going to happen in the future. So thank you so much for bringing that on board. All right, tonight we're going to be talking about Dennis Henson's 5 M's of real estate investing. All right, this is a core piece of really any business. It doesn't have to be just real estate investing, but if you're going to be a real estate investor, you better have these 5 M's in place. So the first one is money. You're going to have your money in place to make this thing happen somewhere or another. Money has to be there. I'm sorry, mining is the first one. Dennis would have kicked me in the rear on that, so I'm sorry. Mining is the first one. You got to mine You got to find your properties out there. So money is the second one, maintenance, marketing, and then management. So that's going to be the pretense of our meeting tonight. That's what we're going to be talking about. Building these 5 M's into your business. This is a core product that we work ourselves in everything we do in this real estate investing, and it's also a core product that we really work with our investors one-on-one with these. This is a key part of our training, and once they have this down, this is it really works well. So tonight we have Renee and Doug Toon, but Renee is our moderator tonight, and she's got a list of questions that we're going to work to get answers for people that are on this call. So thank you all for being on this call, and thank you for all of our attendees that are here tonight asking questions. We got a ton of questions out here. So Renee, kick it off.
Well, hey, everyone. We're so glad to be with you tonight, and we want to welcome also our other IMTs, Tao from Oklahoma and Pam Cleary from Decatur. And you've already met everybody else on the screen. So my husband, Doug, and I are from the Longview area. And, of course, the master of ceremonies in so many ways, my personal mentor is Dennis Henson. So we want to just introduce you to the group here and start off with some questions tonight. So one of our first questions came from one of our students. It was, do you have any tips to get contractors to finish their projects on time? So this would follow under the management portion of
maintenance.
Oh, I would put it under management. Okay, it's maintenance. So that's one of the 5 M's under the maintenance portion. And I think, Eric, you said you would answer that question for us. So what are some tips to get those contractors to finish on time?
Thanks. It's a really good question. And there are lots of different ways to do it. First of all, you have to find one that you trust. And by working with them, you get to figure that out. You may have to hire more than one to figure out what kind of contractor you want. But one of the big tools you can use is simply holding back 20% or a certain amount of the agreed upon fee for the work to be completed, not to be paid until after the work is done. Another way to go about it is to incentivize an early finish. Perhaps if you work it into the contract in such terms, saying, I want this done by the 30th, but for every day before the 30th that you finish, if you finish a week before, if you finish 1 day early, I'll pay you $100 for that day. 2 days early, $200. I'll pay you $100 for each day you're finished early. And on the flip side of that coin, if you write it in the contract, every day past the due date, I'm going to charge you $100. I'm going to fine you. I'm going to hold back $100 from the 20% that I still owe you. So you can incentivize it simply by holding back a lump sum, and you can further incentivize it by an early payout per day or a penalty per day late. That's something I've used and found success with.
Excellent answer. Thank you so much, Eric. We appreciate that. So next question. And I think this hits all 5 aspects of the 5 M's of real estate investing. How do you limit distractions in your real estate business? Roger, can you answer that for us?
Absolutely. There's several ways to do that. One is to block out your time, to work out your daily time block where we are not in a situation of just putting out fires all day. So we work to make sure we have a priority list out there. We have a list, which is what Dennis has really promoted to us and to our students, is you have your checklist every day. You have your checklist for every week and every month. A simple example that Dennis used one day was do your car maintenance. If you're doing your car maintenance, you have a lesser chance of your car breaking down and then just totally destroying your whole day of not being able to get anything done. So we have a checklist out there, lots of different tools out there to use for that. Dennis has a program that he has set up within Word that is just phenomenal. I personally cannot reproduce that. I use Google Keep so I can prioritize by category and the different things that I need to do in life. I also have things set up in my task list and my reminder list within Google. So that works out well for me. But I think a lot of that is a personal choice of everybody that's out there. But the big thing the biggest thing that I get out of it is prioritizing. I'm sorry, my my day. I look at my list every night before I go to bed. I look and see what I need to do the next day, and then every morning when I get up, that's the first thing I look at, and I make sure that I get all my top A items done, my B items, get as many of those done, my C items. If I can get them done, that's great. If not, it's something that I can push off. But I'm making sure that I have all my A, and I actually have A and A plus items that I put together. So that's how I get my day done. It works. You don't miss things. You don't go back and wake up at 1 a.m. and go, oh, I forgot to do this, or I forgot to send this to somebody. Somebody gives me a project, I'm immediately putting it on my list. So thank you, Renee, for asking that question.
Awesome. Does anybody else have anything they want to add to that question? Any other ways to limit distractions?
Anybody?
Okay, I'm going to give you one that I use. If you have a cell phone, this is the most distracting thing you can possibly have. And I've found that if you pull down on your cell phone, there's a place on mine that says do not disturb. And if I just hit the do not disturb, it's amazing how few interruptions I get. So there's just a suggestion. So there you go.
That's
Okay.
why she doesn't answer her phone.
That's
half the
right.
time.
All right, next question. What's the difference between a note and a mortgage? And I think Tim was going to answer that for us. Tim?
Sure. I'll take that. Well, the note is a document that says what are the terms of the repayment of the loan. So it'll tell you the time frame, the interest rate, if it's going to be amortized or interest only. So the note only states the terms of the repayment of the loan. The mortgage or the deed of trust, depending on which state you're in, is the document that gives the lender the right to take the property if you don't pay in terms of the note. So it's what places the lien on the property. And so if you don't comply with the terms of the note, then the lender can take your property per the terms of the deed of trust or the mortgage.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So we've got two different states represented here on this call. What is Texas, Tim? Is it a deed state or is it a deed of state trust?
Texas
Deed of trust state. I do that all the time.
Deed of trust state is in
Okay.
Texas.
Okay. Do you know what Oklahoma is?
I don't know. I think they're mortgage based, but Cal would know.
Cal?
Renee, in Oklahoma, we have mortgage. So
That's what I
every
thought.
time if you have a loan, then you have a mortgage. But then there's a promissory note that they file together with the mortgage.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Tal. All right. Next question. Do you increase rent after 12 months or and then transition to a rent-to-own program?
This is management.
And this would fall under the management one. Doug, what can you tell us about that?
Well, I mean, so with rent to own, really, it's just rent. So if you're going to transition to, say, an owner finance after the 12 months, then there's no need to raise the rent. But it's always a good idea if you're going to rent. If it really depends on what your tactics are. If you're in business to buy and hold, then you're going to hold it, and you should always look at see what you should raise your rent to each year. But if you're going to transition to a owner finance, then there's no need to raise it. So is that a good enough answer?
That'll work. Does anybody want to add anything to that?
Oh, good
That
deal.
trigger for anybody? Okay. Okay, Roger, I see that you have one here. What other ways of finding properties besides the MLS are out there? It's great if you have a realtor on your team that can help you out there, but what if you don't?
Yeah, and you know, Renee, we're kind of in that market right now that it's kind of tough to find some of the great deals in the MLS because our market's pretty strong. Our interest rates are low, jobs are plentiful. You know, so there's lots of people out there buying houses, refinancing, and using that money to buy investment properties, whatever it may be. But yeah, what I use is a network. Now, every impact meeting I go to, there's always properties out there that people are trying to get rid of. Other investors that are trying to get rid of. Other investors that are wholesalers. And so that's a great way to find properties, is going to a live REI meeting and talking to other people out there. Another one is just to think outside the box. Is a lot of it is working with people on a one-on-one basis, just building that contact list. Do you know anybody that's looking to sell their real estate? There's other ways to go out there, and you can do some stuff online, maybe with Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, and even eBay has properties on eBay. So it's pretty amazing what that has on there. But there's the way I get most of my properties is by networking. As many of you know, I do a lot of subject twos. I've never, ever been able to facilitate or buy a subject to out of the MLS when the realtors are involved. And usually it's at a high rate of the market. Excuse me, high rate of the market. But so I use my network out there. I have a roofer that has given me several properties over the years. I have a foundation guy that's given me a few properties over the year. I have an electrician and a plumber, two different people, a handyman, and other people that are out there that I just have network, and I've met through social organizations. As many of you know, I'm very involved in Rotary International. I've been able to talk to some people that are wanting to move some of their properties through just building those relationships. You know, as Dennis says, he says Roger knows everybody. So, and I know a lot of people, because when I go somewhere, I'm meeting people, I'm making sure they're in my phone, and I also make sure they know what I do. A lot of investors go out there and they just hide in the corner and don't want to tell anybody they're a real estate investor. But you get to a point that, you know, I was in a Denny's not long ago, and a guy talked about how he wanted to get rid of a property. And so I get up from my table, I go over to his table, I hand him a business card, I ask him more about his property and kind of get his why he's wanting to get rid of that property. He lived out of state. He had a property there in the town I was in, and he wanted to get rid of it. So that's how I get my properties. That's how a lot of our other investors that we work with, that's how they get their properties. So thank you, Renee, for that question.
Yeah, thank you so much, Roger. Wonderful answer. And before I go and ask each of our impact trainers, and I'm going to ask each of you, what is your favorite way to find properties besides the MLS? So be thinking about that. But before I do that, I want to talk to our audience and just remind you that if you have a question and you're watching from the YouTube channel, be sure and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that will open up an opportunity for you to type a question in the chat area, and you can participate in the call with us tonight. We would love for you to do that. So now that we've kind of got that out of the way, Eric, what is your favorite way to find properties other than the MLS?
I am so glad you asked, because I'm not a realtor, so I don't have access personally to an MLS listing. Favorite way is word of mouth.
Yes.
For example, down the street from me, just recently, I found out that a gentleman is moving out of his house, and I walked down and I talked to his neighbor so I could establish contact with him, and found out his name and number, and I knocked on his door a few days later. He is indeed moving out. but it turns out he's not the owner, he's a renter. So I got his management company's name, the person he pays every month, and I have reached out to them with a couple of offers of either putting a renter in there for them or buying the property off them outright. So word of mouth.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you. How about you, Tal? What's your favorite way?
You're still on mute.
Can't hear you, Tal. You're on mute.
Sorry.
Word of
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Well, Renee, my favorite way to buy property is when I can buy the property that I can make a difference. Well, like just in short, I bought a few property, the people that I know that I can keep them in the home, like, because of their landlord selling the home and they are afraid that they have to move. So I said, well, tell your landlord I'm going to buy the property and I'll keep you in the home. So I actually did 5 of them, and I love to do that. So, I tell everyone that I meet that, hey, I buy house. So if you know anybody that want to sell house, just let me know. Same thing with Eric, would tell people that
Yes.
we're buying house. I love that. Every house we buy, and was like, people appreciate that we buy, and I just love that.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you, Tal. I appreciate you sharing that. Okay, Tim, let's find out your favorite way to find properties besides the MLS.
Yeah. People are always telling me that they can't find houses to buy. And my first response is always, well, that's your problem. You're looking for houses to buy. Because
That's right.
we, as real estate investors, we don't buy houses, we solve problems.
That's
And
right.
the more problems that you can find and create solutions for, the more value you can bring to the marketplace.
Mhm.
And then the more properties you end up buying. One way to find problems that requires a little bit more work, but because it requires more work, there's not as much competition, is to go to the local code enforcement office or online, however it is in your town or city or county, whichever it is, and get the code enforcement list. Find those houses that have had notices sent to the owners multiple times. If it happens to be an out-of-state owner that keeps getting violation notices and fines from the city, then they have a problem that they haven't been able to figure out how to solve yet, and they can be very eager to sell you the house if you're able to solve that problem and take the house off of their hands and take their headache away.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome. Fantastic answer. Thank you, Tim. All right, Miss Pam, what is your favorite way to find houses or problems, as Tim said, rather than using the MLS?
Well, the one thing that we do is we educate. We educate the people that are around us. We educate the people that we do business with. We educate, we let them know that we're not a typical real estate company, that we call ourselves the untraditional, from acquiring properties to helping people get financing. So, that's what we, and we do that by sending out. It's been a while since we've sent out postcards, but we used to send out postcards. We do door knock. We take the Roddy's foreclosure list. We actually get the foreclosure list before the 21 days. And then there's 3 big attorney's offices that does the foreclosures, and we have access to the list. And so we work that, getting to people before their properties go to foreclosure. And then, like, I think it was Eric or somebody was saying, oh, we call them bird dogs. My 3 big bird dogs are, I have 2 HVAC guys and my tile guy. Finds us deals.
Excellent. So as you were saying this, I thought of a couple of questions. Pam, what's in it for your bird dogs? And Roger, what's in it for your bird dogs? People that find you leads. Pam, go first.
It depends on how big the deal is, but like most of our contractors, like the HVAC guys, we pay them a flat fee. So it's funny because around Christmas time, they're always finding us deals because they need money for Christmas presents. And then we have a couple of wholesalers, if that's what or acquisitions people. I hate the word wholesaler. We have a couple of acquisition people that we work with that bring us deals. And so it's off of sometimes it's a flat fee, sometimes it's a percentage basis. It's usually anywhere from 5 to 10% of whatever that, deal is. And it depends on how experienced they are, how much I have to teach them to go through the process. So hopefully that's your answer.
Very good.
Okay.
Hey, and on mine, Renee, my contractors know that I'm going to refer them out. I have one particular contractor that I referred him out last year over $100,000 worth of work that he did. So he's very friendly to me whenever he finds something. He doesn't expect any monetary. He just wants me to continue to refer him out to go forward. So that's what they get in return from me.
Okay, very, very good. Okay, we're going to hit some of the specifics.
Hold on, Renee. Hold on, Renee. I want to add to that. So yes. Roger has his own contractors. My contractors, I'm competing with everybody else out there. So like my HVAC guy, he has 3 other people that we all know that he finds deals. So we are competing with him, and I'm always his top person when he brings me deals because I never argue with him about his referral fee that he asks for. If he wants $500, because I know the other 3 people. So it can become a competition type thing, having people to bring you deals. So I just want to throw that out there. So like I said, my HVAC guy, he knows I'm going to pay him the top dollar.
Yeah. That's an awesome tip. Thank you, Pam, for sharing that. I hope there's 100,000 people watching this tonight. They're getting some great information. So, okay. So Doug, what's your favorite way?
Well, we like tax sales because I'm not really the outgoing person, but Renee is the outgoing person, and she hardly ever does door knocking and doesn't find a deal. We find somebody to talk to. And here lately, we've been mixing the two. So we'll get the tax sale list for the county we want to buy in, and we'll go knock all those doors. And if we can get in and make an offer and help them solve their problem and pay the taxes, then we probably can do a little bit better than most. So that's just what we've been doing.
Great answer. All right, Dennis, I want to know what's your favorite way to find problems and or houses other than the MLS?
Well, most of the deals I do now are with partners, people that have been my students in the past or members of my group. Having a group is really the best way I've ever found to find deals, because people come to you with problems, and by helping them solve their problem, many times you can be the answer. I know just like 2 calls ago, someone had a question, and I said, call me. And not only did I solve the problem, I did the deal with him, and we both are going to come out very well on that. So Stephen often says, I would rather do 20 deals with partners than 10 deals by myself. And I agree. I like doing deals with partners because they do all the work. You know, I end up doing the signing of a piece of paper. So that's really worked for me very well.
Awesome. Very good. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dennis. Okay, so the next question, this has to do specifically with the, well, I'll do this one. In mining, how do you find deals when you're looking for deals? How do you find deals?
If you don't have any money.
Oh yeah, I didn't finish the rest.
Experience.
Yeah, if you don't have any money, you don't have any credit, and you don't have any experience. Okay, you're a newbie. How do you find deals? Who's got an answer for that? Dennis, go ahead.
Well, the way that works the best and the most often is the Apple technique. Now, if you don't know what the Apple technique is, you can go to YouTube and type in Dennis Henson Apple, and you can hear the video about the Apple technique. It's just basically getting an apple at Kroger and a bottle of water and starting out in your farm area the next morning when the sun comes up, and start knocking on doors on one side of the street, and do that until noon, and then drink the water and eat the apple, and then come back down the other side of the street using a script. And Doug and Renee can tell you, knocking on doors really works.
It works.
It does. And you don't have to have any money. You just have to know someone who wants to buy properties, who want, like any of us. So if you go out and find someone who's having a problem, and you know how to put your deal together, you can get it under contract. You don't have to have any money to put it under contract. You put it under an option contract, and then bring it to your mentor or one of us or me or whoever. And you may have a list of buyers, and you can tie that property up and sell it, never spend any money out of your own pocket, and come away with thousands of dollars. I have one student, we were talking this week, he does 4 to 5 houses a month like that. His minimum, the minimum he makes is $15,000 on every house. And he's been doing that ever since he took my training, and that's been years ago. So figure out how much that is he's making. I mean, he's making an awful lot of money, and he's not spending his money. He's able to tie those properties up by using a technique.
Wow. That's awesome. So, Doug, what were you saying?
Well, the next thing's going to be money.
Well, yes, it
So
is.
we're
And he was
talking
actually,
about money.
we were talking about how do you find money? And Doug has a story for you about finding money.
Well, I don't know. A lot of younger people may not know who Aristotle Onassis was. He's not anymore. He's dead. But Aristotle was a shipping magnate, and he married Kennedy's widow, Jardieu, and that's where she got the O, is Onassis. So just before his death, they had an interview with him, and they said, "Mr. Onassis, what do you contribute to your vast success?" And he said, really and truly, success is, you only need like 3 things. And he said, you need good ideas. Real estate's a great idea. You need people. People have problems. Real estate investors are people, owners and renters, and all those are people. And then you need money. And he said, money's the easiest. Of course, that was easy for him to say, but really and truly what he was saying is that there's so much money just sitting in banks, drawing practically no interest whatsoever, and just waiting on a good idea. And so, if you have a good idea and, buying properties at a discount is a good idea because we can all make money. Yeah. And even the private money people, the banks, the people that loan us money to do the deals, because you don't really want to do the deals with your money. Your money, you need to use your money to pay for your lifestyle at home. So
Exactly right. It's a good answer. So, one of my favorite mentors is famous for saying, all the money you will ever need is available to you. That's a quote by Dennis Henson. And it is true. When I first got into real estate investing, that was my biggest fear. I was like, okay, so I can find a house, but what am I going to do about finding money? And it freaked me out. So if that's you and that freaks you out, just if you can get to the place where you can truly believe that statement and what Aristotle said, you're just going to be that much farther along. It's kind of like that phrase, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. It's kind of the same concept. When the real estate investor is ready, the money will appear. It's amazing how it happens. So good stuff. All right, let's talk about management. The next thing is, at what point should you use a property management company? Let's say you have a few properties or you have a bunch. When do you transition from you managing it to a property manager managing it? Who wants to take that question?
Well, I'd like to say that I think it's a good idea it's probably going to be different for each person, but I think it's a great idea to step into it with your first, second, or third property and manage it yourself, so that when you get to the point where you say, I don't want to manage these anymore, you can start to interview management properties and see if they will take care of the things that you know need to be taken care of. Because by doing that yourself, you can hold others accountable to do it the way you want it to be done. What number that is, in my personal opinion, varies from person to person. It might be one. After managing one, you might want to say, okay, someone else needs to do this. Or you might want to find 10, and if they're all close enough, you can take care of it yourself. It also, I think, depends on the location. If they're all within 10 miles of you, great. If they're in a different state, that's a different kettle of fish.
All right, awesome. Pam, what do you want to add to that?
Well, I agree with Eric and what he was saying. I think it depends on your priority, your criteria, and how much you want to take on, and handle it. It's been just from my observation, it seems like once you get up to around, 10 properties is when people start going, to hiring property management. And, it's really important that when you go and hire a property manager, that they are taking care of you. And so there is a difference. You have a property manager that is already managing 100 properties, or do you have a property manager that's only managing 15 or 20? So you've got to figure out what works best for you. Me personally, I don't want to hire a management team company that's already got 100 properties, because if I don't have 100 properties, I'm probably going to be closer to the bottom of that list, when it comes to taking care of me. So anyway, that's just what I wanted to add to that.
Excellent. Very good point. Have you ever run across the question, okay, you've got 10 properties, Pam, and you're really good at what you do. Could you manage my 10 for me too?
Yes, and my answer is no.
no.
I mean, I can guarantee you do not want me managing your properties. I have a whole different way, a whole different world, and a lot of my rentals are in Sampson Park and River Oaks that most people don't even want to be in. And I love the area, and I'm not going out of it. So, like I said, my idea of rental properties on the whole is completely different than what most people want to do. So, I have 10 of them plus the RV park.
Okay. Tal, add to that.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would just want to add that if you gonna manage the property yourself, take advantage of some good management software out there that can do a lot of automated work for you. Just have your tenant pay your rent online through a portal, so that you don't have to collect or wait for the check to come in. And then the management software can help remind them and all that thing too. And also the management software can help, the tenant can put in like an order for a work order, put in a request for work order online, and they can send photos and all that. And then that way you can actually go back and keep track if the work has been done, and you have proof on, work has been done. So I think there's many good management software out there. Maybe, there's some of them very low price, and some of them, I think the first, maybe 10, maybe free as well. So like Tenant Cloud, all that. But better management software that I know, I use Folio, but there's Buildium, Propertyware. So there's a lot out there. You may look into it and maybe talk to other investors to see which one they use that. And then you can ask for like the pro and con of using them. But I would definitely recommend to check it out.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I really, really do. And I think that oftentimes one of the things we have to remember is that getting advice from other people who are doing what you want to do is always a good idea. Dennis, go ahead.
Well, when you're talking about property management, you have to keep in mind, if you're doing single family homes, you're in kind of a different world than if you're doing multifamily. If you buy a 600 unit apartment, you're going to use a property management company. It doesn't matter if you've ever done it before or not. You're going to have a property management company that knows what they're doing. Mm-hmm. If you have 20 rental houses, then that's quite a different animal, and with 20 rental houses, you'd probably be paying property management companies $3,000 to $4,000 to manage that. Well, for $3,000 to $4,000 a month, you can hire 2 or 3 part-time employees, teach them how to do it, and they can do 1,000 other things. So it just makes a lot more sense. If you're going to do real estate investing, you really need a mentor. You need somebody that knows the answers to all your questions at first, because you're going to pay the money one way or another. You're going to make a lot of mistakes and lose a lot of money because you're dealing with big ticket items. Where if you find someone that you like, you can get along with, it doesn't have to be one of us, it could be someone else, but that really knows what they're doing, they can save you tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's right. Or just a few dollars. So that's
excellent advice. Thank you so much, Dennis. We are fixing to talk about a really special event in just one second, but I want to let you know something that I'm sure Roger's going to bring this up again. Next week is Easter weekend, and we're not going to have Impact TV next week. So skip a week. We'll be coming back in 2 weeks. And we're going to close out with one last question and then go on with some details you're going to want to know. So don't miss this. Last question is related to marketing. What's the fastest way to market your property? Fastest way. You've got a property, you want to get it out there, fastest way to do it.
To sell it.
Yep.
Stick a sign in the yard.
There's
in
one.
today's
Stick
market.
But it
Stick a sign in the yard.
Multiple listing service.
Tim, what did you say?
Put it in the MLS.
MLS.
Yeah,
okay.
That's fast.
MLS is the fastest, but again, signs work too. So fastest is MLS. Sign is probably the second one. Any other comments from anybody?
Yeah, these are all just skills, and we weren't born with these skills. You learn skills, and then you practice them, and you practice, and you practice, and you practice. You do it over and over and over, and you get pretty good at it. But if you don't practice, then you're not going to get good at it.
Right.
So, we can teach you the skills. Give us a call. But if you don't put it into practice, then there's not a lot we can do for you. So
very good. All right. I think we got some announcements.
We do. We have a incredible event coming up in for our getaway last year in November, I believe it was. We had over 60 of us go down to Cancun. We're doing the same thing this year. We have a great website up for you to get some information on that. Rooms are limited. It is the mastermindgetaway.com. Rooms are limited, so first come, first serve. We sold out last year. We totally expect to sell out this year. So we want you to get registered and want you to make sure you're up there. We have a great website on that. There it is right there, Mastermind Getaway. And we want to see you there. We talk about real estate. We network. We have a lot of fun. We do excursions. This is an all-inclusive facility that we're there at the Jade. Dennis, you can correct me on the name of it, but it's the
It's Dreams Jade. I was wrong last week.
Dreams Jade. Okay. Yeah. And so all your food comes with it, all your drink comes with it, entertainment. It is a phenomenal facility. Every room is just absolutely incredible on the rooms. Lots of pools out there. So we have lots of experts that are going to be there, and we're going to be talking about what we've got. So we're 162 days out, it looks like right there. So, but we're that is going to be in, is it September? I don't have the date in front of me.
September 21st through 25th.
September 21st, 25th. So it is a great price. Go onto that website, check it out. We'd love to see you there. Once again, we totally expect it to be sold out. We have a great time. We're going to have a couple of little real estate networking meetings there, and then we all network for meals and karaoke and breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then we go to our excursions together. And Dennis and Norma's trying to get some special things that we're putting together on that to be announced as we get further into it. But you want to be at this Real Estate Masterminds. And then the next thing we've got 2 new locations coming on board in the next 2 weeks. Next Tuesday, day after tomorrow, is Grand Prairie, and that's Eric Short. Eric, can you tell us a little about what your meeting is going to be about and where it's going to be?
Absolutely, Roger. Thank you for asking. It is located at the main event in Grand Prairie, 3106 Southwest Highway 161. If you just put in main event Grand Prairie, it pops it right up. We're going to start tomorrow, Tuesday night at 6:30 with networking and food. And around 7 o'clock, we will have Karen Maxwell come in and talk with us about the goal setting and how that relates to your REI business. And I'm very excited to have her speak on Tuesday at the main event in Grand Prairie.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, Eric. Thank you so much. We look forward to being there. If you're in the area, even if you're not, if you want to drive, it is going to be a phenomenal meeting, great networking. Hope to have, if you got deals, bring them to the meetings. You'll find buyers for them at that meeting. So that's going to be Tuesday night, 6:30, main event, Grand Prairie, Texas. Not far from the IKEA, right? Kind of down the street from IKEA.
Pick up a piece of furniture on your way out.
Yeah, we can all sit around and watch you build it. So there you go. So we can make that happen. And then next week, not tomorrow, but Monday, the next Monday, the Monday after Easter, is Tim and Gabi are doing the opening up Denton, Texas. Tim, Gabi, can y'all tell us about what we got going for Denton, Texas?
Yes, it's going to be at 6 o'clock on Monday, the 18th. It's going to be at the Keller Williams Denton training room. That's at 2434 Lillian Miller Parkway, just right off of I-35 East. And the topic is going to be the 7 secrets of success in real estate investing.
Very good. You're going to have a little bit of, they'll have refreshments there, stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yes, not a full dinner, but we'll have something for you to eat.
Something to snack on. There you go. Good deal. All right. So I think that's it. Dennis, do you have anything to throw out?
No, I'm sorry. No, you pretty much covered it. Good call.
Good deal. Thank you all for being on here. Now, our next Sunday, as Renee said, we are not going to meet. You enjoy Easter, enjoy your family, celebrate. If you're a Christian, you want to celebrate Easter. You want to take that day to give thanks for what we have and where we're at. And then on the Sunday, the 24th, the last Sunday of the month, we'll be back at 7:00. And that particular call, that podcast we're going to be talking about your real estate business plan. So that is imperative that you put that together for your business and you have a business plan. You have a roadmap at that point to follow of what you're going to be doing in this business and how that's going to work out. You build a good business plan. You take that to your banker. You take that to your private lenders. You take that to your partners. And it makes life so much easier when you have a business plan laid out. Yep. So we look forward to seeing everybody in 2 weeks. Enjoy your Easter. Tuesday night, Grand Prairie coming up. Monday after that on the 18th is going to be Denton, Texas. So excited to have everybody there. We'll see you. Oh, and my last deal is we will be doing a subject to all-day training in Oklahoma City in June. And I think that is going to be on June. Tal, do you remember the date? June the 18th, right? Yes.
Excellent.
June the
Is that
18th.
correct?
Yes.
Yeah, June the 18th. Okay, we're going to be doing an all-day subject to of that. Look for our announcements on that. You'll see those on MeetUp. For all locations, we'll have that where you can reach out to it. Don't have one right now planned anytime near in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so you need to check it out in Oklahoma City. We'll do an all-day training there. I had a great testimonial on our last training we did. We had a guy that came to the training 2 years prior, and he had never done real estate. The next 12 months, he picked up 25 properties in the next 12 months. So we have a great training on that. You want to learn more about it. We're going to see more and more properties come up where people are going to be distressed. So look for that. And everybody else, thank you so much for being on here tonight. CJ, Fun Grid Entertainment, thank you so much for putting this together for us. And we will see you on the 17th or the 24th. I'm sorry. Real estate business plans. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.